Okay, so you've done a couple of weight exercises now. So now it's time to tackle something difficult. We're going to animate a character lifting a heavy object. And this is a tricky thing to get right. This is a real test of how to give the illusion of weight to something which obviously has none. Your heavy object is just going to be a mass of pixels and vertices, and we've got to make it feel heavy, make the character feel like it's really straining to pick it up. So, first things first, let's start with the Animator Survival Kit, which is a wonderful reference for so many things in animation, and particularly good for this particular exercise. And here's a page from the Animator Survival Kit showing a chap picking up a heavy object and lifting it up and then falling it over again. And you can see there's a special attention paid here to the red line along the character's back, showing how the C-curve can be reversed here in order to get the maximum sense of weight and flexibility in the spine. What I'd like you to do is to start by shooting some live action reference. And in order to do this, you will either need someone with a camera or a phone or anything that can shoot footage to film you lifting up something heavy. If you don't have another person to help you, you will need to get yourself a camera with a tripod. The camera with a tripod is actually the best way of doing it anyway, because obviously it means that the camera doesn't move or wobble while you're filming. So I mean, I would suggest that you'll be shooting a lot of live action reference in the course of the course. So I suggest that you do buy yourself an inexpensive camera and an inexpensive tripod. But if not, get someone else to film you. And shooting live action reference is a really, really good place to begin with all kinds of things in animation. And you will, if you go and work in an animation studio, you will invariably see animators filming themselves acting things out in order to get a sense of the weight and the physics of the thing, but also to get some sense of the character performance involved. So this is footage of me picking up a heavy object, in this case a bin, which actually isn't heavy at all, but I'm pretending it is. And these are stills taken from the footage. So I've played back the footage on my computer, and then I've taken a screen grab of the individual poses. So here's the main start position, pose 1, and here's the contact position, where I'm contacting the bin with my hands. And here's my squash or anticipation position as I bend down, get close to the thing so I can really get some kind of lift on it. Now I'm lifting it up. Pose 4. Pose 5, I'm stepping backwards to compensate for the huge weight of this bin. And then pose 6, my right leg steps backwards as well. And when we take a step backwards, we almost invariably take 2 steps. It's a common mistake when people are animating for the first time is to have a character take 1 step. But in reality, we almost always take 2. And try it for yourself now. Just try standing in the room that you're in and take 1 step in any direction. You'll find that you can't do it. You'll find that your other foot will almost invariably catch up. So it's always 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and very rarely is it ever 1. Because when you take 1 step, you tend to be off balance, and your body naturally wants the second step to catch up. So here are the poses. Start, contact, anticipation, lift, step backwards, and settle. Okay, so that's a basic box lift in 6 poses. And here it is again. So what I've done is I've taken all my main poses from the live action reference, and I've now compiled them into one JPEG. So I've got one image, and that's got all my main poses on it. And then having done that, I'm then going to find the timing. And finding timing is literally just a question of watching the video playback and finding a timing that, well, just counting the number of frames and then simplifying it. So here I've got frame 1, then 2 seconds later is my contact. That's 1 1000, 2 1000, contact. Then another, let's see, what is this? 49, 59, 69. So another second later, 1/1000, as I go down in for the squash, and then quicker now, 12 frames after that, because we're lifting, it's fast. Then 8 frames after that, the step backwards, and then slowing into frame 107 at the end.